Speaking of NFL coaches, little take two here, Victoria. Speaking of NFL head coaches, Bill Belichick, your next North Carolina football coach?
Right? What?
Is that he interviewed Inside Carolina First reported it yesterday. Everyone else, by everyone else, I mean ESPN, CBS Sports, and all the other places, been like, yes, this actually happened. Confirmed. Bill Belichick, yes, the Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowl winning head coach of the New England Patriots formerly, interviewed to be the head coach of the University of North Carolina football team. We're calling it Chapel Bill, Victoria.
I like it.
If this happens, we're calling it Chapel Bill.
I like it. Bring it.
Now, yes, this actually happened, including the NFL insider of NFL Insiders, Adam Schefter of ESPN, said, hey, yeah, Bill Belichick, UNC, it's a thing. It happened. Here's Adam Schefter.
Bill Belichick wants to coach next year, whether it's in college or whether it's in the NFL. And I think the fact that he's talking to colleges like North Carolina, as Inside Carolina First reported, is an indication that he is open-minded in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure he's enjoyed being a media darling this year, Kevin, but he is at heart a coach, and he would like to get back to coaching, whether that's at the NFL level or if it's the right situation with the right organization, the right staff surrounding him at the college level. It's a different game, college these days, but he's not closing off that option, as evidenced by the fact that he has now spoken with officials from North Carolina.
Yeah, okay, so that happened. It happened. Now, what was the extent of the conversation? How serious is North Carolina about it? I don't know. Only Bubba Cunningham could truly answer that. But you know what it would do? Put some butts in seats.
Lots of butts in seats.
It would put butts in seats. When's the last time you saw Keenan really sold out?
Oof.
Been a minute. I mean, I know NC State, when they show up, that place gets full. But there are games I went to this past season. I've brought it up before. I'll say it again. The home opener on a beautiful Saturday afternoon was 60% full. I understand. They were playing Charlotte, not the most traveled team or fan base, not the biggest name, but your home opener?
Yeah.
And you were 60% full, I'd say?
At least show up for that.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's not like, hey, you know what, it's like 92 degrees. I don't want to sit out there in the heat and boil for a game against Charlotte. But no, it was a nice, pleasant day. I was like, wow, this feels really good. I remember walking up to Keenan in Chapel Hill going, it's like no buzz around here, it feels like. You want to get rid of the apathy? Bring in something like this. I came home last night from the Lenovo Center after watching the Carolina Hurricanes win 5-3. Turn on Sports Center because I want to catch up on some highlights and other things like that. They're talking about Bill Belichick in North Carolina.
Yeah, they are.
That's what they're talking about. When I turned on the TV after a Thursday night football game that was 34-31 between two of the top teams in the NFC, in the Lions and the Green Bay Packers, the first thing I see when I turn on the television, they were still talking about Bill Belichick in North Carolina. When's the last time you heard North Carolina football talked about this much on a big-time major national scale?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a minute. I don't remember when. The last time I saw North Carolina on ESPN and stuff this much was when Drake May was going in the NFL draft and they were doing draft breakdowns. But they were talking more about Drake May, not actual UNC. Now, again, there's a lot of talk about Bill Belichick in this regard, but anytime you mention Bill Belichick, you see the UNC logo. That matters. That matters. Something Bubba Cunningham said a few weeks ago regarding the future of UNC athletics, and just athletics as a whole, but specifically talking about UNC. He wrote this on GoHeels.com on November 20th. So, 2 weeks ago, basically. Said, quote, institutions will be allowed to share revenue directly with student athletes. The revenue share derived from a percentage of average revenue from ticket sales, TV broadcasts, and other commercial activity at schools in the top athletic conferences. Again, that's talking specifically about revenue share. Never talk about butts and seats, ticket sales. Hello? That stuff matters. Man, Bill Belichick shows up on campus.
Could you imagine
Oh
how
my
many
gosh.
people who aren't even fans of UNC would still come out just to be at like a Bill Belichick game?
Well, it's not just to watch it, but also the national spotlight. Hey, what's Bill Belichick doing? Remember when Deion took over at Jackson State?
Yeah. Oh, game day's definitely coming here if
You
Bill
think?
Belichick is there.
You think?
Like Pat McAfee, game day, they're all coming
They're
here.
all coming, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking when Deion showed up at Colorado and stuff because it was the name, right? Mm-hmm. Bill Belichick's a name. Now, I totally understand. You just let go of a 73-year-old coach in the name of Mac Brown. Bill Belichick's 72. I don't see this as a long-term thing. I truly don't. But maybe North Carolina's looking at the coaching candidates and going, yeah, you know what? Maybe the ones that we are interested in aren't interested in us. Or maybe the ones we're interested in just maybe aren't ready yet. Maybe they just didn't fit. The fact that you're having this conversation says something.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know there's a lot of conversations about who the next head coach is going to be, obviously. It seems like, at least for me, that you would find someone who's younger that can be your head coach for the next 10 years. You would think. But by all accounts, Bill Belichick has taken notice to how college football is starting to look like the NFL. Now again, with revenue sharing, movement of players with the transfer portal, which is basically like free agency, folks. Mm-hmm. With all that, who has dealt with that? Bill Belichick. He was also not only the head coach, but he was also general manager for a long time of the Patriots.
He knows some things and people.
Yes. But if I'm a player, I have aspirations to go to the NFL. Why wouldn't I want to learn from arguably the best coach ever?
UNC would have so much appeal if you were like a player and had Bill here. And I know you mentioned he may not be here long term, but maybe in Bubba's mind, that's just planting the seed because with all the exposure of him being here, that could just be warming up for a long-term coach, potentially.
You boost the profile of your football team.
Right.
And then guess what? Now people are like, okay, that's a job I really want to go after. Mm-hmm. Higher-end coaches, higher-end players, more money that rolls in. Yeah, that stuff does matter. Now, there are a lot of things. I used to coach college lacrosse. I did it for 9 years. Spent three of those years as a head coach. There's so many things I learned when I got to being a head coach, especially when I was an assistant.
I'm sure.
There's so many things I had to deal with. Now, again, college football is a whole other level. There's things you got to deal with. You got to meet with boosters, fundraising. I didn't have to deal with the NIL and collectives. I didn't have to deal with that. I can only imagine how much of a headache that is, but that's something that he's going to have to learn how to deal with. There are just simply more players to manage. In the NFL, you have a 53-man roster with your practice squad and guys on injured reserve and things like that. But, hey, rolling a training camp with 90, then you're just cutting guys down until you get to your 53. Can't do that in college. There's 85 scholarships, and actually that number can increase if a school wants to. Players have class schedules, so they have lives outside of their sport, believe it or not. Restrictions by the NCAA in terms of number of hours you can require your players to participate in sport-related activities. And also, there's a mandatory day off once a week by the NCAA. All of that's going to be a major adjustment for Bill Belichick. All of it is. But if he puts the right staff around him, why not, right? Now, personally, just my opinion, this is what my gut tells me, I don't think this happens.
Yeah.
I don't think it does.
It's a long shot for sure.
Who knows? Maybe Bill Belichick is just using North Carolina to say, hey, guys, I'm open. And maybe if there are other jobs that are out there that people might be interested, like, hey, maybe we'll talk to Bill about this head coaching job. Like, oh, wait a second. He's already talking to another school. Let's make our move. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's opening the door up for Bill Belichick for other opportunities that he may want. I don't know. I can't speak on that. It crossed my mind. But man, Chapel Bill has a ring to it. By the way, we're putting it down right now. I want royalties for anyone that starts selling Chapel Bill t-shirts and Chapel Bill cut-off hoodies.
Oh, they got to be cut-offs.
Got to be cut-off gray hoodies. Sleeves cut off, gray. If you start selling Chapel Bill hoodies, I want royalties.
Yep.
Stating it right here. Friday the 6th of December.
Strings still in the hoodies and
this
everything.
Is on, yep, exactly. This is on YouTube. It's live. It's archived.
Yeah, there's evidence.
There's evidence. I want my royalties.
See, we could have a whole clothing line because I still got to make my Panthers be Pantherin shirts.
Yes.
I know.